And I'm about to go live on. All right, so we are live on everything. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Yes.
There we go. There we go. There we go. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. It's just gonna be two of us tonight. And y'all keep my boy Miles in your prayers. He's doing all right. But definitely keep him in your prayers. Him and his lady. But it's gonna be me and Coach Lauren thugging it out tonight. So looking forward to giving you guys a really good episode. And the main topic of discussion is truly going to be Valentine's Day isn't just for the woman. So we're just gonna go piggyback off each other, go back and forth. But I'm Rex Howard Jr.
And I'm Coach Lauren Jackson, your marriage and relationship coach.
And I think tonight's gonna be a really good conversation. So before we get started, a couple things that we want to remind you guys of is like, share, send it to a friend, drop some questions if you have questions. We're open to literally any and all questions. Don't think you're going to interrupt. Don't think no question is a dumb question, because there is no such thing as a dumb question. But I think I just want to get things started off by picking back up off a conversation that we were having before we even hopped on the live. And that conversation was, how did Valentine's Day even get started?
Because I was lost. I was like, where did this come from? Who started this?
And what was it? And truly, what was the purpose of it? Because right now it seems like it's streamlined to only be focused on women, to be catered towards women. It's commercialized to buy the flowers, to buy the teddy bears, to buy the chocolates, to buy the gifts, to buy the lingerie sets. And then when you see a man get gifts or receive gifts, it's the typical socks, chocolates, sunflower seeds, candy.
Sunflower seeds. About to lemon heads.
It's truly the bare minimum. So I want to ask you this, and this is just off a random topic, a random question too. What pressure do you feel like Valentine's Day brings relationships?
Ooh, I think it brings a lot of pressure. And this is something you and I were talking about. And y'all drop y'all comments. Let us know y'all thoughts in the chat about this. But one of the things that I think it does is that it makes your partner have to perform, and perform at a level that they may or may not be ready to perform at.
Yeah.
Especially depending on, like what they've seen and what their relationship experiences have been. And so based off of that, they may or may not step up to the plate that you want them to step up to, quite honestly. And so it does bring a lot of pressure for him to spend money on things that he may or may not, that may not be in this man's budget right now. Okay. Right. Or maybe she not trying to have sex because y'all ain't married. Yeah. Right. And so y'all, she trying to tote that line. Or if you are married, because I coach a lot of married people, if we haven't been emotionally on a good path, I may not want to come to bed to do that. Like it shouldn't, because for married people, it's almost like Valentine's Day is the guaranteed night he gonna get some. He gonna keep the stack. If y'all here for the first time, welcome. And welcome to our YouTube family. We got quite a bit of YouTube joining us tonight. So welcome to our YouTube family.
So YouTube family, I want to ask y'all a question. Is Valentine's Day a deal breaker for you in your relationship? So for the women, I want you to answer this. Is it mandatory that your partner asks you to be his Valentine year after year, right? And then is it also mandatory that he gives you a gift, right? Is it mandatory? That's what I want you guys to answer down in the chat. Is it mandatory for one, for the partner to ask you to be his Valentine, and for two, to get you a gift year after year? Is that mandatory? And if he doesn't, what does that make you feel, right? Because I know in my relationship, I think 2 years, a year ago, Miles and I, we started back up our podcast, and it's February 1st, and we had our conversation. Do you still ask your lady to be a Valentine? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I still ask, but I never thought about what it looked like to not ask, because I think with so many conversations going around on social media, it's almost feel pressure to ask. Because if another couple does something cute that you ain't done yet, your partner gonna be looking at you funny. Like, why you ain't did that? Why you ain't asked me yet? Why didn't you give me the 6 foot bear from Walmart, right? Versus get me this little small thing. So I think it is a lot of pressure, but I'm curious to see what people have to say in the comments about that. Do we have any yet?
Let's see here. None yet. Leroy from YouTube said hi. Josiah said, Jesus Christ, what is truth? Not sure, maybe just paddling. Our Instagram family. Hey, Instagram. Our Instagram family is joining in and out, but I hadn't seen any comments yet from the ladies. They ain't trying to tell the truth tonight just yet. They're like, this too early to come on hot.
No, literally. so so for you in your life, in your dating, in your marriage, what's important for you to have that question being asked to you to be a Valentine?
In my marriage, I think he ever asked me if I was gonna be a Valentine. I mean, I got your last name. What we talking about, right?
Right.
But those of you who do not know, this is your first time here. I'm divorced, and so I've been divorced going on five. It's been 5 years, and so now in this dating life, now, child, that's a different conversation. Yes, it's very different. Um, yeah, I expect you to ask me if I'm going to be Valentine's. Because especially like dating now is just different. It is real different. And so clear communication helps to clear up miscommunication.
Yeah.
Say that for you. So yeah, that to me is important. Um, Especially in my season of dating and like figuring out like, okay, is this a person that I should take serious? Is this not? Because a man states clarity.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you take somebody serious depending upon their willingness to do for you during these holiday season?
Not no. I look at people from a holistic totality type of energy. Um, I believe that you should allow people to do what they're going to do so you can see what they rather choose.
Yeah.
If you try to guide them to your method or the way you want something, more times than not, they're not going to keep it up because it's not naturally who they are, and it may not be who they want to become.
Yeah.
So I look at, okay, how, like, when I bring up Valentine's Day, what do you naturally say about it, right? I look at when we're going places. Is the expectation that who getting a ticket for the event?
Yeah.
When you looked at the event, were you thinking about us going and you covering us, or were you thinking about us going Dutch?
Yeah.
Because it takes, and depending on the person, it takes them some time to like move from transitioning from a me to a we. Because when you're dating someone and then you are dating one with intention, you don't become we overnight. You become we over time, and that takes
Yeah.
some unlearning on the other person's part.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense then. So you said you would like to see what they do naturally before anything. Yeah. So I think Valentine's Day for men is very interesting, right? Well, I can't speak for all men. I'm only going to speak for myself because every year we have this internal thing to outdo ourselves from the year before,
Okay.
right? So if one year I just got you flowers and chocolate, that means next year I need to get you flowers, chocolate, and a teddy bear. And then if another year, if I start buying you jewelry, then it's always going to be like I can't not get you jewelry from this point forward unless I go something that's more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think like in my situation, the months they just collab with each other because my lady's birthday is in January, right? A month later, it's Valentine's Day. A month later is our anniversary, right? And then even in December, we was in Nigeria. So you got Nigeria, then a birthday, then Valentine's Day, then it's month after month after month, right? So I already make it a thing to get her flowers
Mm-hmm.
every single month, and I make it a thing to write her a letter every single month. But
Oh.
now, but now you have okay these different kind of jewelry. My lady is the type of person that she would much rather like experiences. So if it's a really nice winery, or if it's a solo trip, not a solo trip, but like a couples trip or a day trip or something we can take, she'll much rather that over something else. But we're also in the season of saving for a wedding. So it's like, one thing I said to her the other day is, how would you feel if I said I didn't want to celebrate holidays? All
What
right.
did she say? We're all curious.
I said, how would you feel if I said I didn't want to celebrate holidays? And she said, well, honestly, the only way that wouldn't bother me is if um, you gifted me things at random. She was just like, so let you know, holidays do come up frequently. And she was like, if you were to say you didn't want to celebrate Christmas or you didn't want to celebrate Valentine's Day, then I'll be totally fine with that. But if it was random times or random months, maybe on our month anniversary or just whatever, you decide you want to give me something nice, or you see something that you may want to see me in, or you see something I may like, and you just decide to think of me, you decide to gift it to me, then I would definitely appreciate that. And she said, but it also makes sense if we were saving for a specific thing. So if we say we're not doing these things because we're saving for a specific thing, then I would definitely understand that. And that definitely made sense to me because we do put a lot of pressure on the holidays, and I think even in relationships, men overcompensate for holidays because due to them not showing up in the relationship beforehand, right? I know a lot of big spenders that spend big on holidays, but they are terrible partners or terrible husbands. Have you seen them before? Or
Shout out to Miles. Miles just joined us on Instagram. I had to shout out my boy.
what
We
it do,
miss
Mike?
you, Miles. Absolutely. I've seen them before. You know, Betty Wright said it best. She said some gifts are about the guilt trip from the night before. You know, go listen to No Pain, No Gain. That is a real conversation, okay? And I I do believe that a lot of times people feel like they can gift themselves out of the to like overcompensate for where they're gonna lack,
Right.
right? And depending on the type of personality, that may work. But to me, I can't enjoy a gift if I know secretly is tied to something that you didn't do or you haven't told me yet that's going to completely like hurt me.
Uh,
Um I it doesn't it don't hit the same in that situation. And I've had that happen. I've had it happen to me. You know, I had a nice $3,000 bag.
yeah, yeah.
And but it was about your guilt trip
Mm.
from the
So,
night before.
so how did that feel for you to receive it? Could you still view that gift as something that's nice and special, or could you see that gift as something like, oh, you're only doing this because?
Initially when I got it, I didn't know that it was from a guilt trip.
Mm,
It wasn't until later that I found out that it was. And when I found out that it was, it it didn't have the same value for me
yeah,
anymore, because it wasn't, you didn't get me this nice bag, this nice Louboutin bag because of your love for me. It was, to me, it was more of your guilt. And so regardless of, I couldn't really enjoy it. And I'm not a flashy person. I'm more, I'd rather you question me about what I'm wearing than to
yeah,
walk and see it on me. Like, oh, that's Gucci. I don't like
yeah.
so it was very flashy. It was beautiful. But quite honestly, in my divorce, when like seasons were tough for me financially, it was nothing for me to sell it because it meant nothing. Tied, it was tied to guilt.
That's good. That's good. So let me ask you this question too, then, for the women that are listening, because I really want to hear your perspective on this.
Mm-hmm.
what do you do for the men or the man in your life on a day like a Valentine's Day?
Well,
Can you hear me?
yep, I can. Can you hear me? Oh, I think we're
Am I,
still.
are you froze? Can you hear
No,
me?
you were frozen. I'm
Oh
good.
yeah, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Did you get my question?
Yeah, you said you asked me what do I do. So for Valentine's Day, like for the men in my life. So well, first off, for the first 2 men in my life, which are my two sons have had they call it Boys Day. Just so whoever
Okay.
decides to get with my kids, don't come thinking it's about you, sister. Because they definitely expect that you will have a gift. They've had a gift since they were old enough to know they was getting a gift. So since so since 1 year old, they have gotten Valentine's Day gifts every single year. Um, but even like for in relationship, because the last couple of years I actually went on this journey, in my healing journey of like dating my dad. So literally, like send him a text a couple weeks ahead of time. I would pretty much book a day because my dad's like me, he's booked and busy. Book a day with him, and I would plan out the entire day. He would have absolutely no idea what we're going to be doing. And these are the things I didn't do in my marriage. So these are the things that I would say, like if I could fix or go back and change some things, this would be the area I would really work in because my ex-husband was amazing at this. I not good. And so that's why I felt like I needed to like date my dad because I feel like I ain't had no good. I feel like my training was bad, and I needed to just go take the class, like a remedial class again. I feel like I need to do remedial classes. So I planned the date, and I chose to do things that either was tied to a value, a secret value I knew he had, an experience that we've never had together, or
Okay.
experience we've never individually had.
Okay.
So example of that would be 1 year I came home early, took his car to get detailed because he'd be having stuff all over that car. I would get his car. I took him, got his car detailed. We went shopping. I paid for everything the entire day. It was very uncomfortable for him because the entire time he wanted to tell everybody that he could pay everywhere
Yeah.
we went. And I was like, sir, you're worth more than your little debit card. You know, like, put your card up, sir.
Yeah.
And so 1 year we went to the spa because I'd never seen my dad go to the spa before. Like I'd never heard him say, I'm going to get a massage. So we went and got a massage. That was really fun. We went to Ruth Chris for dinner. I had him to pick out something that was comparable to what I was wearing. And I chauffeured him around the whole weekend. The next year we did dinner, but we also did pedicures. I've never heard my dad say we're gonna go get a pedicure before.
Yeah.
So we went and got pedicures, and that was such a like just a fun experience. And so I'll say this to the women that are listening, that for men are not hard to please. What makes a man just fall all over you is the fact that you paid attention to what he didn't say and you were just attentive to the things he needed.
Yeah.
And so, like, listen to those small things, because those things are actually really big for men. And I always get my dad a card. And I always get like one of those 97-cent cheap cards that don't have a whole bunch of writing because it gives me space to write. Because a
Right.
card can say whatever, but it's different when I get to say it. And I will say that my dad still has every card on the mantle like it's a trophy. um and just we have a lot of beautiful experiences and memories because of that. And so for the women, like, be thoughtful about him because I do think that men don't get that level of intentionality enough.
Yeah.
And from a commercialized standpoint, it's just push to get some KY and put on lace. And
Yeah.
to be quite honest, most men want more than KY and lace and a Brazilian
Mo-
wax.
No. And I'm glad you mentioned that because this would be a perfect time for me to share that, right? So from my perspective, and I think I can speak for a lot of men, when I say this, but we desire intentionality too when it comes to gifting. So when it comes to Valentine's Day, we want to feel special as well. Not only do we, yes, um, we want to please the flesh, we, but that's something that that can happen all the time. But when it comes to being intentional, think about the things that he's talking about. Miles said this in another episode before. Things that he's watching, videos that he's watching, the ads that's coming up on his thing, the YouTube channel that he's watching, whatever he's liking, whatever he's paying attention to, think about that. Ask him some questions, right? Go beyond the socks, the wife beaters, the sunflower seeds, the Laffy Taffy. Go beyond the chocolate bars and really be thoughtful. So one thing that my lady got for me, which I really, really, really appreciated, was this jar, right? Now this jar is filled with affirmations, is filled with date ideas, is filled with things that she loves about me, things that she wants to do together, and then specific prayers. Now she was just like, certain colors, or if you're feeling like you miss me or you want to know something good, pull an orange or pull a pink. And this would never,
idea.
100%. This right here would never run out. So if I'm feeling a gloomy day, if I'm not really feeling connected with myself, if I feel like maybe me and my lady are in conflict, pulling something out this jar reminds me of the love. It reminds me of her intentionality. It reminds me of the reason why I even decided to make her mine in general. So let's see what one of these bad boys says, right?
Ooh, and after this, we got some conversations on our IG that make sure we touch on.
Good. She said, I love how much you care about me and people in general. A simple, something handwritten is very intentional, and it, you got to take your time when you make stuff like this. You don't just come up with it. You don't just throw stuff in the bar. You got to think about it. You got to find the right jar. You got to find the right packaging. There was a ribbon that came on the outside of this as well. So when you are intentional, it makes a man feel special. It don't even got to be expensive, right? But if you require expensive, it'd be nice to receive expensive as well, and the gift expensive. So, but you said we had some comments. Let's talk to them.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to steal that one. Shout out to Glory on that one. I'm going to steal. So Miles said, using the holidays to make up for 12 months of not showing up. He said he missed us. He'll be back next week. Get Active Tone said, I feel as though a woman that truly adores and loves their partner won't have a whose day is it to talk on any holiday. And then also Get Active Tone said, hearing this from a woman is quite satisfying. Rex is living, and he said, Rex is living a dream. My God. He is living a dream. I love that. But I think, and to go further with that idea too, most men that I have found top love language, especially, I'm gonna say this for Black men.
Yeah.
Words of affirmation. And you know what the struggle is for the strong Black woman?
Words of
affirmation. We suck at that. We suck at words of affirmation. And I will say, as a strong Black woman, but who is in her hybrid feminine energy, healing helped me become more vocal and more expressive with my words versus explosive with my words. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. When you heal, your words become more expressive and less explosive. Even post divorce, my ex-husband was really great about gifts, and he always had the elaborate, he would be the kind of gift person that you wouldn't even want to go gift for gift with him. Okay, because he would always blow it out the park. And I was very insecure about that. I wasn't great at it, so I wouldn't even worry about it. But I will say, post divorce, I have found myself being kinder, just saying hey, thank you for the way you show up for our sons, or thank you for the way you show up with this. And no, it does not mean that I want this person back. Let me put that out there real quick. It does not mean that the devil is a lie. However, it don't hurt you to be kind. Yeah. And whether you want to be with the person or not, guys still go together with them because that's still a job. Okay, that's still his kid. And so he's always looking to see, how do we handle the people we don't think we need, or the people we don't think deserve love.
Yeah,
And that is what he's looking at, especially for those of us who are living to love again.
yeah,
If you can't treat the least of me, air quote, right, then how are you going to treat the best of me, right? You're not. And
yeah,
so that is very important. It's also very important, modeling for my sons, because they don't see dysfunction and crazy. They see respect and how to have conversation. and and to be honest, I think that it helps both of us show up better, and be really great co-parenting partners,
yeah.
because of my ability to be more expressive and not so explosive about everything that isn't going right.
That's actually really good. That's actually really good. And to even add to that, like you said, your very first point, men do want words of affirmation. We want to hear that you are proud of us. We want to hear that you are excited about you. We want to hear that you desire us. We want to hear that you think that we're handsome, right? That you love our outfit, that you love the way we talk, you love the way we treat you, you love the way we provide or do whatever. We want to hear these things. And I realized for me, like throughout my life, I've been writing letters. I've been writing letters, not knowing that my love language is words of affirmation. But
Mm,
because I wasn't in relationships to where women were saying much back to me, or even um, during my upbringing, having a lot of poured into me, that wasn't really my thing. So when people now pour into me, when people say how much they're proud of me or how much they love what I'm doing, it feels something in my cup, because that's what I've been needing to hear. Like I've been doing my best to say it to myself and affirm myself, because I know who I am and whose I am. But when
mm,
you hear it from the people that you love, man, it hits 10 times different. Like I literally, every one of my birthdays, if you ever wrote me a letter, I've not gotten rid of it. Like for the last 10 years, I got almost every letter that I've ever received, because that's just, it just truly means a lot. And something else my lady did, and I'm gonna call this generosity war, right? Um, so my birthday, I made a post and I said, if I've impacted you in any way, form, or fashion over the last year, I want you to type in the comments how. So for Christmas, my lady said, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I want you to go to that post, take those comments and do something with them. Right. So I don't, it's somewhere in here. So she got a picture frame. She went to Campbell. She made the letter R, but within the letter R, it's all the comments and each person's comment that makes the letter R. So from a distance, it just looks like a big R in the picture frame, but up close, you get to read every comment, and then she highlighted who it came from. That right there is intentional, because every single day you get to walk past that. Every single day you get to feel the impact of that. And then you get to know that you have a partner that is willing to have a generosity war. Now, what do I mean by generosity war? We're looking to outdo each other on a day-to-day basis, right? Not only am I looking to, okay, well, she wrote me a letter, so I'm about to write her a letter, right? She got me this nice gift, so I'm about to outdo her and give her an even better gift, right? She showed me this amount of love, so I'm about to show her even more love, right? She kissed me for 60 seconds, so I'm going to kiss her for 90 seconds, right? A true generosity war. And then once you get to level wealth, she buy you a car, here you can buy her another one, so it's not even monetary. She prays for you, so you can continue to pray for her, right?
yeah.
She prays for you, or she does something for your kid if you got a step kid, but just whatever. It's truly, I'm going to do whatever for my partner, because I know that they're willing to do whatever for me. And if you're in a relationship where you feel like you guys are in a generosity war, not a jealousy war, not a
Yeah.
comparison war, but
Yeah.
a generosity war, coming from a place of health, coming from a place of warmth, coming from a good place, that's a whole different ball game.
No, that's facts. Like that, I love that. Now I want to see the art. You had to text me the picture or something. Take a picture, send it to me. I
I
want to see.
love it.
Tell him, tell Rex drop that on his Instagram story so we can see it. And then
No,
we gonna try to get Gloria Etsy page so she can make us
no,
because
for real,
we
sure.
ain't all creative, okay? Like it be like to with the artsy piece of it. But I love that, and I think too, I could see that filling your cup, especially on your lowest days.
Yeah,
Because every day ain't a high day.
yeah,
Every day is not a high day, especially if you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Every day, definitely not no high day. But every day is worth living. And so I love that. I definitely love it. Oh wait, we got some more comments coming on our IG family. And hey YouTube, y'all drop us some comments, some questions. We definitely want to double tap. Look, get active tone said we aren't. Oh, he said, I don't think women are bad at it. They just don't praise us enough rather than calling out our shortcomings.
Yeah.
Correct. You ain't store.
Yeah.
We aren't fans of hearing, hey, it seems we aren't fans of hearing, hey, it seems you always do something rather than, hey, I appreciate everything you do for me and I appreciate you for trying.
Yeah.
He also said certain words are enough to really make us drop tears behind just because there was a lack of.
Yeah.
And Miles said, a generosity war is so real. I truly believe if a man feels appreciated, criticism is far easier to receive when you're praised far more than you're criticized. Now, that is a fact and a bar, okay? Um, that's a fact and a bar because I will say this, especially with the men that I have coached and worked with. Um, I always tell people what a man, and I heard Darius Daniels say this here like the last 2 or 3 weeks, but what you celebrate in a man is what he is more bound to repeat. And
Yes.
a lot of times we feel like I shouldn't give you a cookie for this, but
Yes.
you give God a cookie for waking you up and letting you bat your eyelashes and letting you have lungs and breath in your body. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, what's the difference? Like, why is it such this big deal? And I think it goes back to this selfishness of like us feeling like you need to perform up here to get up here. And it's
Yeah.
like, but who said that though?
Yeah.
Like, what value system are we living under where we start really thinking that that has to be the bar in which we measure people?
Yeah.
I am always respectfully pushing back, especially on us strong black women, because we are, baby. I can speak because I'm one. We do be struggling. And then we get real gentle and be like, well, I do miss him. Well, why you tell him that? I
Yeah.
do appreciate the stuff he does. Why you didn't tell him that?
Yeah.
So you let this man walk around thinking you don't care and you throwing temper tantrums because he ain't sent flowers to your office on Valentine's Day. Like,
Yeah.
really? We do that.
Yeah.
We really do that.
And the thing about that is, I had a new couple that came in the other day, and black couple, and I love working with new black couples too because it's like building that love, and the fact that they even come to the office is absolutely amazing. But couple was having a conflict, and they was having a hard time seeing eye to eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, we're going to go through this exercise, and what I'm going to have the man do, I'm going to have you say this statement: I feel blank when you blank, and I need blank. Right? That's how I want you to break it down. You fill in the blank, and for her, what she's going to do is she is going to repeat back to you what you said until she gets it right. And then once she does that, she's going to validate you. She's going to empathize with you, and then she's going to apologize. Um, and she said, well, I gotta apologize. What? Like what? What? I mean, what am I? What am I apologizing for? I said, well, I want you to hear his statement. He said, when we were at your family's house, I felt left out, alone, and abandoned when you chose your family over me, and I need to feel like more of a priority in your life.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at me and she automatically wanted to go to her default setting by saying, but it's my family though. I said, no. Do me a favor. Remember, empathize, validate, apologize.
Mm.
And she was just like, she was like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. No. I said, say it softer. And she was like, I see that I made you feel alone. I made you feel abandoned, and I made you feel disappointed when I didn't make you a priority. I can see why. I can see how you feel that way, and I'm sorry that I didn't make you feel prioritized. And I said, boom, that's it. That's a complete sentence. And I went back to him and I said, how does that feel? He said it almost feels uncomfortable because I've never heard her apologize before. So that in itself lets you know that words are so important, apologies are so important, having a person feel seen is so important, and all of that. Literally, last thing, and I go off on tangents. I told my guys that's in my morning master meetup. I said there's power in sticky notes. They was like, "What you want us to do with them?" I said, "I want you to write a special note to your lady, and then go to her car while she's at home inside the house, and stick it inside of her visor. So when the sun is out and she puts her visor down, she reads this message that's signed and sealed by her partner, right?" And I said, watch and see what she does. Or you can even go, if you know she's going to make coffee in the morning, put this sticky note on the coffee. If you're trying to spice things up in your relationship and it's the end of the night and you know she's coming home, you can have something special on a sticky note just to get the mood going. Sticky notes are so powerful. And even if you need a boost of confidence in the morning, you can sticky note and put it in the mirror. I am, I will, I can, whatever you want to do. But words are everything. Not only do men need them, but women need them as well. So back to my last comment, when it comes to generosity war, when it comes to just pouring into your partner and showing up for your partner, like I hate that we emphasize Valentine's Day once a year when Valentine's Day could be every single day. But go ahead. I know you got some heat coming.
You had to write this down. I love what you said about the empathize, apologize, validate. I think that was the three.
Yeah. So empathize, validate, apologize.
All right, that was okay. I had them backwards. Okay, so I love that because I had to write that down. The other thing I thought about was sticky notes. Sticky notes keep you stuck together.
Really, literally.
Sticky notes will keep you stuck together. That was the other thing. I thought about. That was the other one that made me write that down. Miles said, what you celebrate in a man is what he's more likely to repeat. He said, "My coach talk about it. Women always say we aren't praising the bare minimum when every human appreciates when someone acknowledges even the small routines, simple things they do." Get active tone says relationships are so performative, monetary, and internet based that the jump back to reality is so violent it turns things upside down.
Yep.
So, do you still have the research up that said like where it originated, where Valentine's Day like originated? By any chance? If not, it's okay. I remember us talking and it was something connected to like fertility and I think
Valentine's
love.
Day.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The connection that went bad. I was like, I'm not sure what's happening right now.
Oh.
But it says the festival honored Faunus, which is it was a Roman festival, the Roman god of agriculture, and it included rituals to promote fertility and pair couples romantically.
Gotcha. And so it stemmed back from this Roman culture, I think you said.
Yeah. 1900, 1918.
But it was for fertility celebrations. That I mean, somebody was coming together. No point intended. And, so why do we use it to divide us?
Yeah.
and not make it.
And that's the thing though. The more you pour into your relationship, the better it gets. And what Miles said earlier, and you also said it too, whatever you celebrate is what you'll get. That's just like a dog or just like a kid. Anytime a kid does something new and you celebrate it, it does that thing again, right? If you celebrate your barber for chopping you like he ain't never chopped you before, he gonna do his best to do even better the next time, right? If you celebrate a man for looking good or wearing a certain cologne, he's going to that's going to be his go-to cologne because his woman wants to see it. So celebrate him, apologize, say the good things. But I think a lot of couples get so caught up in that. I think the Gottman say for every negative comment or for every negative moment, it takes 3 positive moments to make up for it. So that lets you know the power of communication, the power of affirmations, the power of positive thinking and positive things. So let me ask you this question, Coach.
Okay.
Um, and I want you to give this advice for women when they want to become more intentional about gift giving or showing up for their partner, especially on these type of holidays when men aren't typically celebrated. What approach can they take to ensure that they are being intentional?
I would say, and I think I said something similar earlier, but active listening goes a long way. Active listening and reflection will put you ahead of the game every single time.
Okay.
Um, and really thinking about, okay, what does he need to hear? What does he need to have? What are some experience that he hasn't had? And be curious about your partner. I think we get so complacent with our person because we feel like we may have been with them so long. When it's new and it's fresh early, we're still kind of still trying to like solidify our position. Okay, so it depends on where you are on your journey.
Yeah.
But um I do think that there should never be a season where you get so comfortable that you get complacent.
Yeah.
There should never be a season where you get so comfortable that you get complacent. And so be prepared to do different things with him. And like ensure that the day includes him and include him in his way. Whatever that kind of looks like, whatever that thing looks like, and also let it be something that gives him pleasure without giving you any.
Now talk more about that. What that mean?
So that pleasure can look like, um if he like playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really, I ain't really played the game. Yeah, I got a little, you notice my pearls gone today. I have some masculine tendencies about certain things.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but I don't play like Fortnite and stuff.
Okay.
If my man play it and he like to play the game, that's his thing.
Yep.
I'll sit there and enjoy it with him because that's his thing. It
Yep.
ain't my thing. It's not bringing me pleasure or joy, but it brings him that, right? So that's something that I would say is something that bring like something to do for him that's for him, but it doesn't necessarily have to bring you pleasure and joy. The pleasure and joy that you get is providing the space or providing the experience for him to have it. And doing those things that are sometimes somewhat out the box um, for him. So I think about things from a very intentional space, especially when I am dating someone seriously. And I think about like I listen to what they're into. I listen to like what goals that they're focused on. Men are very what I love about men can be very centered, focused on one thing, hyper focused on one thing. Women, we are not. We won't jump on 50 different tangents. Men, not necessarily. So, if you know that he's trying to get to a certain goal, what can you do to help him get there? Or
Yeah.
what's that one extra thing? Or what's that one relief that you can provide? And that relief may be giving him permission to not have to work today,
Yeah.
giving him permission to be like, you know what, babe, you don't have to do that. I got somebody to cut the grass. You ain't got to be the person cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, take something off of his plate that maybe he would typically have to do that he don't have to do.
Yeah.
Because that shows someone that you care, that you're listening, and that they matter. And most men struggle with feeling that they matter in the relationship. And I get that one all the time.
Man, that's actually really good, and I really hope that they're listening and taking notes because as men, we're going to need these things. And do we have any comments before I share something?
Let me check it out. Hey y'all, hey, I see our new joiners. Um, Miles dropped what I said. He said something for him that isn't also pleasurable for you. That's called servitude. Serve your partner. It doesn't have to be something you like.
Mm,
Yes. I have my master's working on my PhD in servitude.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. Okay. All right. Perfect. Um, so, fellas, I want to share with y'all a few things. I want to share with y'all a few things that are going to be important to note. Thing number one, stop waiting until these holidays to make your partner feel special. Because if you are waiting till holidays for your to make your partner feel special, she's expecting a bigger gift from you, right? Because you ain't did nothing throughout the whole year, right? But when every day you show her love, when every day you show her that you care for her, when every day you make her feel special, this is just another day, right? But when you're not used to buying her things, when you're not used to pouring into her, when you're not used to praying for her, when you're not used to showing her off and making her feel special, then holidays are going to be exacerbated, right? She's going to expect a lot more. But let's just say things do come around. A couple different things that you can do that won't even cost you more than $10, right? One, get a quote on go to Canva, create a quote. You get a nice lovey-dovey quote, which is gonna be cute. Get one of y'all favorite pictures together and print both of those bad boys out. Go get you a picture frame that typically is the two-fold picture frame. This right here is just single, but a two-fold picture frame. On one side, put the quote. On the other side, put a picture, y'all, and boom, you do that, right? Then you go to Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and you get a basket, right? You get a basket. And inside that basket, you're going to put some candy in there. You're going to write her a nice special letter, right? Don't type it. You want to write the letter on a card. Make sure you seal it, seal it with the kids. You can sign off on it. You put the picture frame in there. You put the candy in there. You put the card in there, and then if you want to add a stuffer, right? This will take a couple dollars up, right? If she has a favorite breakfast or a favorite restaurant spot or a favorite shopping spot, Target, Marshalls, Sephora, Pandora, you $25 to $50, right? If you want to go more, you go 75 to 150, depending on your level of success, right?
I like that little success.
Right. You add that to it as well. You want to spice it up, go get a teddy bear. Go get a teddy bear and spray the cologne that she loves about you the most. You spray that on the teddy bear so she can have that. Put it on her bed thing. So before she go to bed, if y'all not sleeping together, she can smell you, and her presence give her a sense of warmth and a sense of peace. Right. That right there, literally, is $25 to $30, $40. On top of that, you can just go, if you're in Texas, you go to HEB or go to your floral shop, get you some roses, add to that. Boom. Now you have a whole situation at the crib. Part two, if you want to take it up a notch, right? You go to right. You go to Five Below. You get the canvases. You get the blank canvases, right? It's going to cost you about $3 to $4. You get some paintbrushes. You get some water, right? And then you set the whole feng shui up at the crib. You get the popcorn ready and a bowl of M&Ms or a bowl of whatever the favorite candy is. You set up the living room. You also buy a shower liner. It's going to cost you $3. You get the shower liner. You lay that bad boy down in the living room, and you set up the paint with the twist. You go to Walmart and you go to the local winery. You get the Color Roots if you want a bigger bottle of wine, or you go ahead and get something fancy if you guys are avid wine drinkers. That right there in itself is a $30 situation. It's a nice experience. And then level three, I'm really giving y'all the game.
Look, Miles said he had to turn his volume down. He in the room with his girl, and you done gave half his box away. Baby,
Hey, listen,
I hope y'all taking notes.
level three, and this is just truly being creative. And this is something that I did last year. Now, mind you, if you're in a position to where you're trying to build your finances, you're saving, you're new into your career, it's important to be creative. And also, even if you have a lot of money, it's important you still be creative, because it's easy to go buy something for somebody else to do it. It means a lot more when you do it for yourself. So this is something I did last year. I went to Canva. I made this itinerary for the day, and I said, top of the morning, we're gonna do what was it called? Chicken and waffles. So I made the chicken and waffles, breakfast in bed. Boom, that was top of the morning. I went and got the waffle maker, boy, from Walmart. Literally cost $20. Get the waffle maker, put the waffle mix in there, make the chicken, cut up some fruit, some strawberries, some blueberries, take them to her, let her eat, right? That's thing number one. If you want to do mimosas, you can do that as well. Champagne don't really cost much when it comes to going to Walmart. Uh, I did personal massages. I called them Touched by Howard. Touched by Howard. You write the name on the camera on the list on the itinerary, and I tell it this is all about you. So this got nothing to do with me. This is all about you. This is gonna be the itinerary. You get a little nice little robe from one of these convenience stores. Make her feel good. You give her oil down. You do that, and then if you want to have something else planned for the day, then that can segue into the pain with a twist. But I'm telling y'all, this is just the game. This is creativity that you could use to spice things up. And I'm gonna tell you part four. This is part four, and I'm done giving y'all the game. The rest y'all gotta pay for. The game is
Baby, you better pay him later.
right. Part four is you go to Walmart. You go to the balloon section, and you get the blow up inflatable balloons, right? The ones that say Happy Valentine's Day. It's you can make them say whatever you want them to say. They're typically like $2 per letter, maybe $1 per letter. You come home, you get a pack of those. You get the helium balloons. You set that up. You set the Happy Valentine's Day either in the room above the bed, or you set it up in the living room, dining room area with the other balloons. You get the fake rose petals and you lock them in everywhere throughout the floor. You get the candles that should become like a pack of 12 from Dollar General for like literally $3. You set them bad boys up. You find a Valentine's Day playlist, and let's just say you don't know how to cook. You order takeout, but you come home and you played it. You come home, you played it, have it nice, the plate situation set up, and then for the after hours, if you got a tub and it's nice, clean that bad boy out, real nice and smooth. You already have your bottle of wine sitting in the freezer, so it can be real nice and cold. You set up the hot tub, you pour a little eucalyptus, you know what I'm saying? You put the bubbles in the tub, you got the bath bomb, you pour the rose petals in there, set up a glass of wine by the tub, and you bring your not a TV stand, but you got an iPad or you got a MacBook. You set it up on a stand right outside the tub, and y'all watch movies and y'all do y'all thing. I'm just giving y'all the game, man.
Baby, listen, this Instagram is popping. You hear me? I'm over here, my face falling out. I done wrote down the tier 3 was called Let Her Cook.
I'm telling you.
Let her cook. Let me run these over here. This, first of all, Rex, that is so creative. Like, it's giving. Make sure you listening.
No.
I'm gonna hope you caught the laugh. You should have been. Make sure you subscribed on the YouTube. Catch the replay of. I'm not bringing this back up. Okay, this how good this is. But let me roll right over to our comments. These people's going off. So here, let me go back up here. So Miles has said, "Real, this should be a daily process to show your woman love." Oh yeah, I said this because he said you almost blew his whole gift out, giving out your tea.
Yeah.
Get active said show for her every chance you get, so there's no room for doubt or room for extra guess. I like that because I don't need backup. I don't need backup.
Yeah.
Miles said that sentimental creative gift will leave a memory longer than a big financial purchase will. Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, Miles said, Rex, I thought you couldn't cook with the looking eye.
I've gotten better, brother.
Baby, he got Let It Cook going on over there. So listen, if y'all need a book a session, men, on what to do so you can score well for V-Day, I'm gonna need y'all to get in Rick's inbox tonight. I know he's counting to filling up. We about to run a whole play tonight. Don't worry about it. We got you. You will score. Your parlays will hit tonight. Okay?
Not miss.
Justin CEO said, my boy dropping gems free game. They over here taking notes.
Yeah. Come on now.
So I'm curious because the women want to know, how did you get this creative? Like, were you always like this? Who y'all took a class in your city?
Yeah, literally. So to be honest, what it boils down to is this. I remember being a freshman in college, right? I don't come from much at all. I remember being a freshman in college, and there was there was a lot of men that were using their refund checks to pay for stuff, big grand gestures, right? But I would hear, because I was a personal trainer, Rex Fit, and I would hear women say all the time, he'll never do this, and well, he'll never do that. And I thought to myself, creativity wins every single time, right? And if I wasn't in a position to buy the big stuff, I was gonna make everything like from scratch, right? From absolute scratch. And I remember, there was this gift that I had made together. I used a cardboard. I made an iPad with a cardboard thing, right? The letters and everything, and I made the Apple symbol in the front, and the letters on the keyboard said, "You are the apple of my eye," and that was the card, right? So you literally just have to focus on being creative. I listen to what women are saying online. I listen to see the blind spots that men are hitting on, because yes, any woman is gonna they're gonna love a purse, they're gonna love the heels, they're gonna love a trip, they're gonna love the fancy dinners, right? But that's momentary happiness, right? The things that last forever are the mason jars or the popsicle sticks with the affirmations on. The things that are gonna last forever are the teddy bears with the voice recorder in them, and you record a special message that every time she presses the button, she can hear your voice replay over and over again. These are the things that's gonna last forever. So that always been my focus. I want to impact you to the point where you'll never forget about me. So if this relationship don't work out, the next brother, he gonna really have to stand 10 toes, and he gonna need a little bit more than money to make sure he lock you in. So that was just my thought process.
I freaking love that. And one of the things that I had to jot down was, I think, and I don't think, I know the reason that women like us like that is because love is sacrifice.
Yeah,
And a lot of times we care more about what did you have to like when you can tell me what you had to sacrifice, I know you love me.
yeah,
I know you love me. I've been able to be bought nice things and expensive trips and all of those things. But I'll be honest, the gifts that I've held on to the longest, like you, I'm a card holder. I'm gonna hold a card. And just like for a strong black woman, it's hard for us to give words of affirmation. It's also hard. It's also because we don't get it enough either.
yeah,
So words of affirmation is honestly is in our top two. We
yeah,
toggle between acts of service and words of affirmation. And you would never really think that because you think she's a woman, she's got all this stuff, she's overachieving, she's done this and done that. And you don't even understand how much her car being washed by you,
yeah,
like, are you making sure like you taking care of something means way more to her. And I'm not meaning to taking care of her water bill. We don't care about that. Women who can make their own money don't care about that. But we do care about the space that you provide for us from a space of support. And I always say women, a real woman cares about things that money can't buy, only time can bring, and only your character can sustain.
that's good. Money can't buy, only time can bring, only your character can sustain. That's really good.
That's what we value.
Wow.
And I'll
They,
take that over a man making $1 million in a day of the week.
yeah, yeah, because there's men out there that they Ubered Eats your gift from the store. They went ahead to the app, Sephora app. Okay, she liked that perfume, and they Uber Eats it, and it got dropped up at the door, and they gave it to you in the same box that it came in. They don't care, right? Versus that one person that really took their time to really put something together, that really made something special for you. So, fellas, if you don't take anything from this, be creative, spend a little bit more time, go the extra mile for your lady. Don't be so quick to just go buy something fancy. It's going to be nice, yeah, yes, it's going to be nice, but also do something that's very creative, because that's going to be the thing that she's going to remember.
We have 59 minutes and
Yeah.
seconds, so we'll see how it hold up. But I just wanted to make sure I double tapped on our last bit of comments. The morning mastery meetup said you need to be teaching this in the morning. I'm gonna send y'all the clips.
Okay. Yeah, no fact.
I'm gonna send y'all the clips. They said you need to be doing that. Miles said that boy Rex don't miss Justin. Justin said we need to listen in the morning mastery. Um, Yeah, and so everybody else was pretty much was like, yeah, that's a word, that's free game tonight. So I'm glad this conversation was fruitful. If you have not clicked the link in our bios, man, and registered and subscribed to our newsletter, I don't know what you're doing, clearly missing us. So make sure that you subscribe, so that way you're always the first to know what we're doing, what's dropping, what's coming out, from the crew. And so we love and support you. And so, Rex, you got anything else before we end out tonight?
Yeah, so like I said, we really appreciate y'all for tapping in. Once again, I'm Rex Howard Jr. You can find me on all platforms. I am Rex Howard Jr. If you are a man looking for a space to grow, to develop mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you want some accountability, you want to be pushed so you can accomplish the goals that you want this year. I have the morning mastery meetup, and we meet every single morning from 6:55 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. This is where you grow, right? There's studies that show that the number one way that men take their life to the next level is to meet weekly with men to share their struggles, to share their growth, and to continue pushing forward. So if that's what you want, that's what you're looking for, go to my bio, click on the link, or just send me a DM and say, hey, I'm interested in the Morning Master Meetup, and I'll send you the next steps. And with that being said, that's all what we got for y'all. We'll
If
see
you
y'all.
love your man like you say you do, sis, you want to know a good gift for him, sign him up for Rex class. That
I'm
is
telling you. I'm
that's the
telling
gift
you.
that keeps on giving for V-Day. We
Yep.
love y'all. We'll catch you here next Tuesday, Miles. We love you. We miss you. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Peace.